Hello everyone! Today we're going to be learning how to modulate to a different key, also known as a key change. So, modulation can add some tonal interest to your piece, whether it be a song, a film composition, or theme and variations. Think Beyonce's Love on Top and the amazing impact her choice of modulations had on her piece. So, what is modulation? Modulation means moving from one key to another. Think of it as moving from one house, walking down the street, to another house. This is a great tool for composers as it's a great way to add development and keep your audience captivated. So, one method of modulating is by using a pivot chord. So, what is a pivot chord? A pivot chord is a chord that is common to the key that you are leaving as well as to the key that you are joining. And this can create a smooth transition between the keys. I'll explain a little bit more about pivot chords later on in this video. So the pivot chord is a way of getting between the keys smoothly. Think of this grey house here as your original key. The car is a means of getting to the next key smoothly. So our car would represent our pivot chord, and here our yellow house would represent our new key. So how do we decide which key we would like to modulate to? Of course, that is completely up to you as the composer, but it might help to look at closely related keys. So refer back to your wonderful, delightful circle of fifths. And remember, don't forget the amount of sharps or flats your key has, as they need to be added in once you have modulated. Okay, so now if you look at your flat task that I've set for you, you'll notice I have written out the chords for C major, as this is my original key. The key that I would like to modulate to is G major. G major is a closely related key of C major, as G major is the dominant of C. So I would like to modulate to a closely related key of G major. Okay, so what we need to do first is write out the chords in a C major scale. So I'm going to write on my triads, chord 1, C, E, G, chord 2, D, F, A, 3, E, G, B, 4, F, A, C, 5, G, B, D, etc. So there are my chords in C major. I now need to write down the chords in the key that I would like to get to. So I'm going to write down the chords in G major. So here we have G, B, D is chord 1 in G major. Here we have A, C, E. Then we have B, D, F sharp. So this is really important that this accidental has been added in here. Why has that been added in then? Let's go back to our circle of fifths. Here we can see that in G major, which is the key we are getting to, it has one sharp. So we know that Father Charles goes down and ends battle. So as this has one sharp, that is going to be F for father. So that's why we have our F sharp there. Then we have chord 4, C, E, G, chord 5, D, F sharp A, chord 6, E, G, B, chord 7, F sharp A, C, and then the original tonic chord again. So now the pivot chord is going to be a chord that both C major up here and G major have in common. So let's go through then. C, E, G. Have we got any C, E, Gs here? G, B, D? Nope. A, C, E? Nope. B, D, F sharp? Nope. C, E, G. Okay, so this is a chord that they have in common. Chord 1 in C major and chord 4 in G major, so that's an option. Let's see if we can find any other chords in common. So we have D, F, A. So this is D, F, A, but one crucial difference. See if maybe you can pause me here and work out what the crucial difference is between this chord and our chord in C major up there. So this can't be used as a pivot chord because our F in G major is an F sharp and in C major it is an F natural. So we also have our chord 6, which is E, G, B. We still don't have D, F, A or C, E, G, so we can rule that one out. Another pivot chord we might want to use, E, G, B. Have we got that anywhere? Yes, we've got chord 3 in C major is going to be chord 6 in G major. So that could work. We've got two options so far. F, A, C, we have the same problem because that's an F natural and we have an F sharp. And then G, B, D is chord 5 in C major and chord 1 in G major. Now, I think I'm going to go for that one. Any of the options that we've gone through would work, but I think I'm going to go for this one purely because I want to focus on the primary chords in my piece. So we have chord 5 in C major and chord 1 in G major. That's going to be a very strong sounding modulation. So that is what I have decided on. My pivot chord is going to be chord 5, here we are, in C major, which is G, B, D, which also acts as chord 1 in G major. Okay, so what I've done here at bar 5 is I've created a chord progression using chords 1, 2, 6, 4 and 5. This is in the key of C major. Now the reason why this has 5 and then 1 is because this is my pivot chord. So this is G, B, D, chord 5 in C major and chord 1 in G major. So let me play my modulation for you so far, going from C major to G major. Modulated. Okay, so that is an example of how I can use modulation to move between closely related keys. So let's just go through what I did there. I've used chords from C major, which we can see up at the top here. And then I've gone to my pivot chord, which I've put as the semi-breves here, which would be chord 5 in C major, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and chord 1 in G major. Here we go. The reason why these two look different is because this one here at bar 3 is an octave below, but they are exactly the same notes. So we have chord 1, G major, which is my pivot chord, and then I'm going to go into chord 2, which is A, C, E. Now that is chord 2 in G major. So from this point onwards, I am now in G major. So let's try another one. At bar 10, so what I've done is I've written out my chords in C major again. Let's play those chords. Okay, so those are our wonderful chords in C major. So now what I'd like you to do is have a go at modulating from C major to the subdominant of F major. So what you need to do first is go back to your circle of fifths. How many sharps or flats are there in F major? So here, hopefully you can see there is one flat for battle. So battle ends and down goes Charles' father. So this is our first flat, so that would stand for battle, which is a B flat. So we need to make sure that when we're writing out these chords in F major, that we include a B flat. Okay, so now have a go at writing in the chords for B flat. So if you pause me here and have a go at that. Okay, now see if you have any chords in common between your F major chords that you just wrote out and the C major chords written here that you can use to be your pivot chord. Okay, and once you have chosen your pivot chord, remembering that a pivot chord is a chord that both keys have in common, then type that in here at bar 16. Once you've done that, I'd like you to compose a 2-bar progression in C major using the pivot chord to then modulate to F major. Okay, really think carefully about what chords you use. You still want your progression to sound nice, so there are some chords that you might not visit as much, mainly chord 3 and chord 7. Try and focus on your primary chords with the occasional use of 2 maybe and 6. Okay, so have a go at composing this progression in C major and modulating to F major. Once you've had a go at that, I would like you to move on to the extension, which is to choose a different key from our circle of fifths. So any that we haven't explored yet, or it could be one that we have explored yet and you want to go to a different key. So then input your chosen key here and write down the chords from that key, just like we did in the previous examples. Then select the key you would like to move to and write your chosen key and its chords here where it says bar 22. Then do exactly what we just did in the previous 2 examples to compose a 4-bar phrase modulating from your original key to your chosen key. If you're a bit stuck, don't worry so much. Go back through this video, you can pause it and go back to the beginning so that you really understand how to modulate and what pivot chords are. So just to go over why they are important in modulations is because our pivot chord, remember our pivot chord is like the car, the means of getting from one key to another.